안녕하세요. Welcome back to Korean Saturday School, week 3, virtually. This is the New York 초대 한국문학교, and if it's your first time here, welcome, and if not, then welcome back. So, let's go straight into it. 환영합니다. My name is Sarang Kim, or 김사랑 선생님, and I am in charge of the 진달래반. And today's lesson title is 9시부터 12시까지 공부해요. And that translates to let's study from 9 to 12. So today we're going to learn about how to incorporate telling time in our lives. And last week we learned how to tell time, like just telling time. But this time we're going to learn more in depth about time. So about how do you say a certain amount of hours, and how do you say from the start to end for time, okay? So everybody, let's turn to page 86 in our yellow book. This book, if you don't have this book, it's okay, just look at the screen and write down your notes on a piece of paper or in a notebook, okay? So page 86 of the yellow book. So I'm gonna read the narration. So the boy says, 한국어 수업은 몇 시에 시작해요? What time does Korean class start? 9시에 시작해요. It starts at 9 o'clock. 몇 시에 끝나요? What time does it end? 12시에 끝나요. It ends at 12. 9시부터 12시까지 공부해요? Do we study from 9 to 12? 네, 3시간 동안 공부해요. Yes, we study for 3 hours. So, we're gonna go straight to the next page. Now, if you see on the next page, there are pictures of clocks, and then below that, it says how long the duration has moved from what time to what time. So, to tell time in hours, we say the number and add 시간 at the end. So, for example, if you want to say you did something for 1 hour, you would say 한 시간. So, 한 is the number. 시간 means hour or time, okay? So 1시간, and then 2 hours is 2시간, 3 hours is 3시간, 4 hours is 4시간, 5 hours is 5시간, 6 hours is 6시간, 7 hours is 7시간, 8 hours is 8시간. Now the book only goes up to 8 hours, but there's always more. So it follows the same concept. So 9 hours would be 9시간, 10 would be 10시간, and it just goes up. Okay, now if we look at the bottom, it says 문을 열다 and 문을 닫다. So 문을 열다 means open. So the doors are opening. 문을 닫다 means close. So doors are closing. We have to know these because we're gonna use this in answering the next questions on the next pages. So let's turn to the next page, page 88. So if you look on the screen, it shows page 88. Now you see a picture of a library. It says 도서관, and it says AM 9 o'clock to PM 5. So it's open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So 몇 시에 문을 열어요? 9시에 문을 열어요. Okay, now the word 에 acts as the word at in English. So what time do they open the doors? They open the doors at 9. So we add the word 에. As you can see, the word 에 is in brown. So 몇 시에. So at what time? 몇 시 is what time. So at what time do the doors open? And then at 9. So 9시 is 9, and then 에 is at. So at 9, 문을 열어요. They open the doors. Okay? So let's read the next example. 몇 시부터 몇 시까지 공부해요? 9시부터 12시까지 공부해요. Now this is another example of how to tell time. So the word 부터 means from, and the word 까지 means till. So from what time to what time? So in this example, the boy is asking from what time to what time will you study? So the word 부터 is usually the starting time. The word 까지 is the ending time. Okay, so 몇 시부터 몇 시까지. Okay, so from start to end. And then the last example. 몇 시간 동안 축구해요? 2시간 동안 축구해요. So 동안, this word is also bolded in brown. 동안 means the duration. So if somebody asks you how long or how many hours will you be doing something, you say blank 동안, like 몇 시간 동안. So the example is saying, how many hours will you play soccer? So 몇 시간 동안 축구해요? And then if you want to answer that, you say the time and then you say 동안 after. So 2시간 동안. 2시간 is 2 hours. 동안 is the duration. So 2시간 동안 축구해요. Okay? Now we're going to practice answering these from the examples that we just learned. So number 1. So if it's easier for you guys, write the time in Korean on top of the clock. So for number 1, it is 10시, it's 10. So write 10시 on top until 4시, 4 o'clock. So the question is saying 오후 4시 blank, 문을 blank. So as you can see, the doors, so it shows an 은행 of a bank. So the doors of the bank open at 10 and close at 4. But the question starts with 오후 4시. So it's asking about 4 o'clock. So 오후 4시 at 4, the doors what? So it opens at 10, closes at 4. So at 4, the doors close. So how do we say that? How do we answer that? So we would say 오후 4시에, because that's at 4, 문을 닫아요. 닫아요 means close. So 오후 4시에 문을 닫아요. Okay? Now number 2. The time shows 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock. So 9시, 12시. So let's see. The picture shows kids studying at school. So 9시 blank, 12시 blank, 한국어를 공부해요. Now, if there's 2 times, then we know that it's a duration. So that not the duration of like how many hours it is, but the duration as in how long the class is. So from what time to what time. So 9시, the word start is 부터. So 9시부터 12시, and then the word end is 까지. So 9시부터 12시까지 한국어를 공부해요. Okay? Now, the more we go, the more easier it'll be. You just add the numbers, the hours, and add 부터 and then 까지. So number 3. We see the time is 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock again, but it's a different scenario. So 몇 시간 blank 공부해요? So this question, as you can see in between the clocks, it says 3. That means the duration is 3 hours. So we know we have to use the word 동안. So 몇 시간 동안, remember 동안 is the duration. 몇 시간 동안 공부해요? Blank 동안 공부해요. Now they give you the answer is 3. So how do you say 3 hours? 3시간. Okay? So 몇 시간 동안 공부해요? 3시간 동안 공부해요. Okay? Okay, now for the last example. So 몇 시부터 blank. And then blank 시작해요. 1시간 blank 수영해요. Now we see that it starts at 3 and ends at 4. Now what is the activity that is going on? 수영해요. So it's swimming. Now the question starts with 몇 시부터. And then the answer ends in 시작해요. So we have to ask 몇 시부터 시작해요? Because the answer is blank 시작해요. Okay? So 몇 시부터 시작해요? Now look at the time. It starts at 3. So how do you say 3? No, not just 3, but at 3. So you have to add the word 에 after the time. So 3시에 시작해요. And then the last question is asking for the duration. So if you start swimming at 3 and end at 4, you're swimming for 1 hour, right? So they give you it. 1시간 And then since it's duration, 1 hour, we use the word 동안. So 1시간 동안 수영해요. I hope everybody understands when to use the word 동안 and then add the word 에 at the end of the time. Also learning 부터 까지. So 부터 is the starting time, 까지 is the ending time. All right, moving on. Now you see a picture of a poster / advertisement of a musical, or in Korean it's called 음악회. So the name of this musical is 사랑의 음악회, like my name. 사랑의 음악회. So usually when we see a poster of like a performance, it tells us the date, the time, the location, and some other stuff like who's gonna play in it. But in this case, let's see what information they have. So it says 언제. 언제 is when. It says 2010 10월 1일. I think our first lesson was telling the dates. So we learned 월 and 일. 월 means month, 일 is the day. So 10월 1일, that is October 1st to October, it says 10월 20일, so October 20 of 2010. This was 10 years ago. So, and then it says 저녁 7시, and then the squiggly dash, 8시 30분. So from 7 to 8:30. So we know that the dates are October 1st through October 20. And then we know that it starts at 7 and it ends at 8:30. And then it says on the bottom, it says 월요일에는 공연이 없어요. What does that mean? 월요일, 월, 화, 수, 목, 금, 토, 일. 월요일, that's Monday, right? So Monday에는 공연이 없어요. No performances on Monday. And then last line, 어디에서? 사랑 콘서트 홀. So 사랑 concert hall. I didn't know I owned a concert hall. That's interesting. Okay, so let's answer the questions. Number 1. 이 음악회는 몇 시에 시작해요? What time does this musical start? So we know that it starts at 7시, 저녁 7시, right? So we're going to write that. But we have to write in complete sentences. So you're going to write 저녁 7시에 because it's at 7. So 7시에, and then the question ends in 시작해요. So you also end the answer in 시작해요. Oh, no, I gave you the answer. Oops. So 7시에 시작해요. And then 이 음악회는 몇 시에 끝나요? We know that it ends at 8:30. So 8시 30분에 끝나요. Okay, I'm going to say these quickly and then I'm going to show you all the answers on the next slide. I already did that by accident, but hopefully you guys didn't see it. Okay, number 3. 이 음악회는 몇 시간 동안 해요? Keyword is 동안. 동안 is the duration. So how many hours is the musical? So how long is the musical in hours? So from 7 to 8:30 is 1 hour and a half. So 1시간 반 동안 음악회를 해요. Or you could just say 1시간 반 동안 해요. Number 4. 이 음악회는 언제부터 언제까지 볼 수 있어요? 부터 and 까지 is here. So from what time to what time can you see the musical? Or what time to start and what time to end. So it starts at 7 and it goes to 8:30. So it's 7시부터 8시까지 볼 수 있어요. Okay? The question always ends in the way you end your answer. So 볼 수 있어요. 5. 매일 음악회를 해요? Is there a musical every day? First off, we know that the musical is only from October 1st to October 20. So that is not every day. Also, we know that on Mondays, there are no performances. So it's not true. You can't see this every day. So how do you answer that? 매일 음악회를 해요? The answer is no. So let's see how I answer that. I'm going to show you the answers now. Okay, so here are the answers now. The first one was, the question was asking what time does it start? So 저녁 7시에 시작해요. Next question was what time does it end? 8시 30분에 끝나요. Number 3. The question was how many hours long is this performance? Is a musical? We said it was 1 hour and a half, so 1시간 반 동안 해요. Number 4, from what time to what time does the musical start and end? So starts at 7, ends at 8:30. So 7시부터 8시 반까지 볼 수 있어요. And number 5, it was asking if they perform every day. The answer was no. So 아니요. 월요일에는 공연이 없어요. And that information is found here. It says 월요일에는 공연이 없어요. Okay. If you need more time to check your answers, you can always pause the video. As for the stickers, since I told you the answers before actually showing it to you, you guys don't need to put stickers for this one. Only on the ones where I don't give you the answers at all. Okay, but these are just the answers, so you guys have the correct spelling and the correct format. Okay, assuming that we're all done, let's move on. Okay, next page, page 91. 몇 시부터 몇 시까지 해요? 친구와 같이 이야기해 보십시오. So, from what time to what time do you do something? And let's talk with a friend, or you could talk with anyone, or you could talk with me about that. So, let's see the example. So, there is a teacher and there are students in a class. Boy says, 한국어 수업은 몇 시부터 몇 시까지 해요? And then girl answers, 9시부터 12시까지 해요. Okay, so that means from 9 to 12. Now let's practice. Practice saying the start of the time till the end of the time you will be doing the activity shown in the picture. So, let's see. I'm gonna do the first. Actually, you guys should know from the example that I just said. So that's how you answer it. But to answer the ones on your own, look at the time. So I guess I'll do the first one with you guys, and then I want you guys to do the rest on your own, and then I'll give you the answers. So first one. We see that this kid is starting to eat at 12 and ends eating at 1. So from 12 to 1. So to tell the I forgot the word again. Time span. There we go. The time span of eating. So from what time to what time is the time span. So from 12 to 1, this boy eats. So we have to use 부터 and까지. So 12 is 12시. So 12시부터 1시까지. 1시 is 1. 밥 먹어요. I ended the sentence for you guys, so all you guys have to write is the time. So 부터 and까지, okay? So the first one should look something like, I gave you the answers again. 1시부터 12시, no, sorry. 12시부터 1시까지 밥 먹어요. Okay? And then the next one is 축구해요. And then 테레비 봐요. 수영해요. 공부해요. 자요. So pause the video, answer the questions. Assuming that you guys paused, I will show you the answers. So the first one, we did it together. 12시부터 1시까지 밥 먹어요. Number 2, 3시부터 5시까지 축구해요. 3, 7시부터 8시까지 테레비 봐요. 4, 2시부터 3시까지 수영해요. 5, 4시부터 6시까지 공부해요. And 6, 10시부터 7시까지 자요. Okay, so pause the video. If you got everything right, give yourself a sticker. We're gonna move on because we don't have a lot of time. All right. Now is the listening portion. Yay! This is like our sort of like our test for every lesson that we have, where I give a scenario and you guys have to listen and match it to whatever is there. So for this one, we're learning about time. So I'm gonna read the first scenario. So listen carefully. I'm gonna repeat everything twice. 음악회는 몇 시부터 해요? 7시부터 시작해요. 그래요? 그러면 몇 시에 끝나요? 8시 반에 끝나요. Am I reading one more time? 음악회는 몇 시부터 해요? 7시부터 시작해요. 그래요? 그러면 몇 시에 끝나요? 8시 반에 끝나요. Okay, now the second scenario. 점심시간은 몇 시간이에요? 1시간이에요. 12시부터 1시까지예요. So, 12시부터 1시까지예요. 점심시간은 몇 시간이에요? 1시간이에요. 12시부터 1시까지예요. Third scenario. 수업이 몇 시에 시작해요? 9시에 시작해요. 그러면 몇 시에 끝나요? 12시까지 수업을 해요. I'm gonna read it again. 수업이 몇 시에 시작해요? 9시에 시작해요. 그러면 몇 시에 끝나요? 12시까지 수업을 해요. So, 9시에 시작해서 12시에 끝나요. Okay. Hopefully you guys heard me, and all you have to do is match each scenario to the correct time. So the first one, it was the musical, starts at 7, ends at 8:30. Next, this kid is eating lunch from 12 to 1. And then number 3, the teacher teaching from 9 to 12. And the last one, they're watching TV from 7 to 8. If you got everything right, give yourself another sticker. Big thumbs up. Answer each question on the third column on the bottom. You could also ask a friend or family and write your answers next to yours. So if you can see on the third column, you're going to write your own answer, but I'm going to read the questions. So the questions you're answering are 몇 시간 자요? How many hours do you sleep? And then number 2, 한국어를 몇 시간 공부해요? How long do you study Korean? Number 3, 몇 시부터 몇 시까지 한국어 수업이 있어요? So from what time to what time do you have Korean class? And last one, 몇 시부터 몇 시까지 텔레비전을 봐요? So from what time to what time do you watch TV? Now you're gonna answer these questions based on yourself. So I do not have definite answers for this because it's different for everyone. So the example, the girl says for 몇 시간 자요? She says 8시간 자요. That means 8 hours. She sleeps for 8 hours. So in that column, it says 8시간. That means 8 hours. And the second one, 한국어를 몇 시간 동안 공부해요? How long do you study Korean? She said 3시간 동안 공부해요. So for 3 hours. 3시간. And then 몇 시부터 몇 시까지 한국어 수업이 있어요? She says 9시부터 12시까지. So 9시. And then you could do the squiggly line if you want, or you could write 부터 and까지. And then last one, she eats dinner at 7 and ends at 8. So 7시부터 8시까지. No, not eats dinner. She watches TV. Sorry, she watches TV from 7 to 8. So 저녁 7시, squiggly line 8시. So I want you to answer these based on your own circumstance or scenario. It's different for everyone. So, and then on the last column, you could leave it blank, or you could ask someone next to you if you have anyone next to you. Okay, so pause the video, work on that, but I'm gonna move on because we don't have time. Okay, next page. 질문에 맞는 대답을 써보십시오. Let's see. Number 1. 박물관은 몇 시에 열어요? What time does the museum open? And then in parentheses, it says 10. Well, it doesn't say on the book, but I gave you 10. Okay, so we all have the same answers. So the museum opens at 10. So you're gonna write blank blank which is 10 o'clock. So at 10 o'clock. So you have to add the word after the time. Okay, so it's 10시. 10 is 열, but 10 o'clock is 10시. And then at 10 o'clock is 10시에. So 10시에 열어요. But it was already written. Oh, I didn't see that. No, it's not written. I wrote it for you. Okay, you guys have to write the whole thing, okay? Next one. 빵집은 몇 시에 닫아요? What time does the bakery close? So it closes at 11. 11 in Korean is 11시. So 11 o'clock is 11시. So, alright, 11시에 닫아요. And then third one. 일주일 동안 한국어를 몇 시간 공부해요? How many hours do you study Korean in a week? And the answer is 7. So that's 1 hour every week. Every day of the week. Okay, so 7시. But this is asking for duration. How many hours? So you have to say the word 시간. So 7시간 동안. Because 7시 just means 7. But 7시 동안 means 7 hours. So for 7 hours, 7시간 동안 공부해요. Last one. 보통 몇 시부터 몇 시까지 점심시간이에요? From what time do you usually start and finish your lunch? So from 1 to 2. So you're going to answer with 부터 and 까지. So 1시부터 2시까지 점심시간이에요. 1시부터 2시까지. Okay? Pause the video if you couldn't write it quick. But we're moving on. Alright guys, last page. So 수연이의 하루 일과를 읽어봅시다. 그리고 아래 여러분의 하루 일과를 써봅시다. So 하루 일과. This is her time schedule, kind of like what she did in a day. So 수연. This is what 수연 did today. Okay, in her day. So let's read it. 수연이의 하루. 오늘은 토요일이에요. 아침 7시에 일어나요. 9시까지 한글학교에 가요. 9시부터 12시까지 한국어를 공부해요. 2시간 동안 한국어를 공부해요. 그리고 한국 문화를 배워요. 한국 문화 시간은 1시간이에요. 오후 3시부터 친구하고 같이 놀아요. And then on the parentheses, put your name. Or in this case, 수연. Oh, actually, no. That's where you guys are supposed to write your name and then haru. So on the lines you see here on the bottom, you're just going to write the same exact thing, but you're going to change the times because it's different for you guys. So usually, you're going to do it based on our Saturday lessons. So yes, today is Saturday, so you're going to write 오늘은 토요일이에요. 아침 blank에 일어났어요. So you're going to write what time you woke up. Okay? And then you're gonna write 9시까지 한글학교에 가요. So you're gonna write the time you started watching this video. So the time you started doing your lessons at home. Okay? And then 9시부터 12시까지 한국어를 공부해요. So from what time did you start and what time did you finish? I want you guys to write that. It's gonna be different for everyone because I don't know what time you guys watch these videos, but you're gonna write your own time, okay? Not the time that Suyeon wrote, but your own. And then you're gonna write how long, the duration of the lesson. Usually, each lesson is 30 minutes long, so you're gonna write 30분, or if you want to include all the 한글학교, so the arts or the activities, I think it's an hour long, an hour and a half. So 1시간 반, or 1시간, or 30분. That's 30 minutes. So you're gonna write that. So blank 동안 한국어를 공부해요. 그리고 한국 문화를 배워요. You're gonna write everything else, but you're only changing the time. So make sure you write everything else. 한국 문화 시간은 1시간이에요. How long is it? Is class? And then 오후 3시부터 친구하고 같이 놀아요. And then you don't have to do the last one, but if you want, because I know not everyone goes out to play with their friends, especially now during the whole virus, but you can just make that up. 3시부터 친구하고 같이 놀아요. It means like starting from this time, I play with my friends. You can write anytime you want. Doesn't matter. Okay? So that is it for today's lesson. Sorry I went a little too quick, but due to time, I need to go quick. So yeah, so the end. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys had a fantastic week, and I hope you guys will also have another fantastic week. And I will see you guys all next week. Bye.